So if so, you'd be okay if you just stay celibate the rest of your life.
That will be phenomenal if I do. I think I can really reach my Mother Teresa level. That y'all gonna be calling me Mother Terra out here if I do that.
That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like you're going in that direction right now.
That's truly, if I don't get distracted, that's going to be what it is. Because I don't think we should.
You're ready for all that.
Yeah, I don't think we should fall in love. We should definitely walk in love, be intentional with love, and move in love. We should never just trip and fall and bump our heads in love. I view sex as procreation. I'm not trying to get pregnant. Like I'm not trying to have kids. So it's no need for me to explore and to bump my head and to do that with anybody. I can be intimate with people.
I'm assuming you had relationships in the past, like you had sex before.
Yeah, I'm not a virgin.
So at that point, did you feel those feelings that you feel now?
The only reason why I had sex is because for my partner. That's what a lot of women do. We do a lot of things for men. Like we be having kids for men. We do too much for men, honestly, and we lose ourselves. That's the only reason. Because of course, unconsciously, that's what we do as a relationship. But boyfriend and girlfriend is a made-up title that somebody made up that you don't need to bust it open for nobody. You don't need to open your legs just because this person got a title and you put a label on it. I'm so cool. I would much rather in this life to be a friend forever than a lover for a season. I get more out of men when I'm just a friend, like being the homie. I get honesty, I get respect, I get things fixed for me. It's so much more just being the homie than just being someone you have sex with. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever God is calling me for. I am so embracing the unknown. Like, I realize that we are here to be the vessel. We here to be of service. So if I get a call today like, hey, Tara, can you help me film this project? Okay, that's what God called me to do today. Then tomorrow, oh, Tara, I need you to speak at an event. That's what God called me to do today. Tara, I need you to help me clean up this set. That's what I get my hands dirty. I do whatever God calls me. You know you can call me. And I know that's what God called me to do for today. Building that network. Because network is how you get into rooms that money cannot buy. It's really all about relationships. Because this person got your blessing right here. And if all you got to do is open your mouth and see what you can do to help them. Because that's all we came here to do is just help each other get to whatever goal we want to achieve. If you help, Zig Ziglar said this, if you help enough people get to where they want to go, you're going to get to where you're going. It's just, that's how I operate.
I said there's a possibility that if you keep up celibacy for the rest of your life, you would end up like a Mother Teresa instead Mother Terra.
It's not a coincidence. My name is Terra now. Like Mother Terra. I think that works. That really fits. Because I don't want no kids. I was telling you that before. Like, I have no desire to bring up any trauma for anybody, to bring anybody into this chaos.
And you're also not interested in a life partner.
I more so want, I have desire for like spiritual partnerships.
What does that mean? You also used the word poly, and I was like, yeah. Is that sexual or not?
Right. Because poly is just having many loves. It's like, why should we limit ourselves? We are abundant. If people think like this, they would not hold on to people that no longer serves them. They would learn how to let go faster. A lot of people hold on to things because they feel like, oh, this is the only time I'm going to obtain some sort of love. But once you realize this person is just mirroring the self-love that you have within yourself, they're just helping you activate the self-love within yourself, and you can be your own power source. Like, you can activate this self-love within yourself. That's all anybody is helping us with, because we all truly just using each other other, especially in relationships, if we're not operating on a healthy level. But if we're operating on a healthy level, we get out of this user mentality, and we then begin to just support each other. We're not trying to change each other. We're not going to have possession over each other and control. We're going to let people be free and let people do them, and not try to cage them in and tell them what they're supposed to do.
They're not ready.
They're not ready for that type of love, because a lot of this love, that's why the cheating went viral, because everybody want ownership over people. They want to possess you. They want to control you. They want to tell you what you can't do with your body and with your own willpower.
I was saying something about celibacy, and then you started saying you were asexual.
That's what I realized, since I have no desire to be sexually active with anyone, because I view sex as a tool just to bring beautiful children up in this chaos. Have no desire for none of that. So I have been transitioning towards like owning this asexuality about myself, that I'm not interested into this physical act, because I see so much. Why it's getting a lot of people in trouble having sex. Like, it's getting a lot of people in trouble and end up in situations that they don't want to be into. And I'm choosing not to trip and fall and get in trouble with myself, honestly. I find pleasure in many other ways than just that 5-minute act.
Like, did you ever enjoy sex in your life?
I'm sure I did, but I was very young. We didn't know what we was doing. Like, we were so young. Like, why? I don't understand why at 16 years old, we out here bumping and grinding to R. Kelly. We don't know what we doing. And we should teach our young generation to close their legs. Like, just because you call him your boyfriend don't mean you gotta bust it open to this brother. And just for the brothers as well, especially if brothers will keep semen retention and hold out and hold on to their masculine power, they can be much farther in life. But now we're viewing women as just sexual creatures that we just want to think about how we can have sex, and not trying to form an intimate relationship with each other.
Wait, so here's the thing, because I go on about this all the time, right? If you have Cardi B, like, singing the way she's singing, and Megan Thee Stallion, and if you listen to that kind of music, you're going to get stirred up, and you're going to, like, want to do it with the first person that smiles at you.
Honestly, those are tools to keep you in a trance, to distract you, to keep you away from your higher self. Those people, those musics are making you operate on your lowest frequency. So no wonder why everyone feels like that's what you're supposed to do, because you hearing this music over and over and over again. So now you hypnotize, and now you're unconsciously operating from a lower frequency, not realizing that you have to vibrate from a higher frequency. And the way you vibrate from a higher frequency is going within, knowing that it's much more than this physical body, that you are a spiritual being, and you can't have everybody having access to your soul. That's why they created mirrors, so you can just have, if you want to have sex, just do it with this one person, because you're not supposed to give your body out to everybody. We are normalizing having sex with strangers. We are normalizing this WAP culture, thinking that we have to have sex just because we know each other for a little bit. Nobody should be having your body. No wonder why you waking up mad every single day, because your soul is tied to a soul that shouldn't have been tied to.
You don't feel a desire, but even someone else in your same position, they may feel some desire.
I mean, of course, like, I feel a desire, but I'm able to control my desire. It's a difference between having like self-control and having sexual discipline. So I wouldn't put myself in situations where I know I'm gonna get hot and bothered. Like, you're not gonna catch me going in a bedroom with somebody, because what do you do in a bedroom with someone besides sleep? So we have to tell the future before it happens, and not put ourselves in situations that can alter our whole future. So I just tell the future before it happens, and I don't put myself in situations where it's gonna tempt me, because our flesh is easily able to fold quickly. We are operating from flesh. So you gotta be a master at detaching yourself from your flesh and like thinking about the future and trusting your intuition. Your intuition will tell you, don't do that now. But we got to listen to that every step of the way.
Well, I'm telling you, I need the workshop.
I got you, because this sexual discipline is really not for the weak. So no wonder why people don't do it. Like, I understand.
What's your thoughts about self-pleasure when you're doing all this discipline?
Yeah, like, I feel like, especially as women, we do have to explore ourselves, like, sexually. Like, we should know our bodies, because how else are we even going to tell our partner what to do? Women are so afraid to even talk about that, and haven't even like touched themselves or know themselves, because we have been like shamed from that. Like, we don't even know our own body, so why are you even letting anybody else have access to your body? Be sexy with yourself. But you should start by first having a discipline. If you going in there, if you haven't like ever took the time to just pause on sex, you should not like jump into that. It is levels and stages. But I think that everyone should first, like, once you built up the stamina, like, okay, I can do it, like, I have stayed away from other people, now start exploring yourself and see what unfolds and what you learn about yourself overall.
We need the workshop.
Hey, because we tend to think that we need pleasure from outside too. Like, we need somebody to help us do that. But if you haven't even helped yourself, then nobody can help you. A lot of times, once I realized these brothers is just jacking women off. They ain't even pleasing women. Like, I'm like, sis, you got pregnant and he didn't even like please you either? We be wasting time, wasting bodies. I'm like, oh my goodness. But you save so much time not having sex too. So, yeah, that's why it's so important not to be so worldly and so freshly and just moving just because the world makes this image of success. I feel like success is more than money. Success is really like happiness is within. Like, a lot of people are not happy, man. A lot of people are really depressed, and just that's why they're looking for things to make them happy, trying to have goals to think like that's going to get them to happiness. But like, yo, you can really be happy just sitting outside in nature if you really want to do that. Like, it can all be so simple. We just make things difficult, and we just buy things that we shouldn't buy. We eat things that we shouldn't be eating, and we do things that we know we shouldn't, because we are searching and pursuing happiness when happiness is all within.
It's an addiction culture. Most people, before you even know what's within, like you said.
Oh my goodness. No wonder why we run away from ourselves. Like, we scared of ourselves. We scared of the dark. Like, just because we've been trained to just not even challenge ourselves, to be with ourselves, to not realize, whoa, I've been searching for this feeling when it's all within T. Like, I feel like I cracked the code, man. I feel like I cracked the code. You are your best investment. That is facts. You are the best investment. And by choosing you, you help giving other people the audacity to choose themselves. And this is how we can really form unconditional love once we have the unconditional love for ourselves. Because all this how we operate from is conditional love. Like, it's conditional. Because if you do something that I don't like, I'm going to love you less now. Because I want you to be a certain way. We don't want people to really be themselves. The voice is calling you higher. It's time to rise up higher. But I do trust God's plans. So of course, like, I have like to-do lists and I have plans, but I don't have like, I don't put any dates to the plans. Like, I don't put any dates. Like, I let it happen the way it's supposed to unfold naturally. And I believe that we don't have to work so hard anymore when we just get into alignment and we're present moment by moment, now by now. I feel like we're gonna have a great future every single day because I have a great day. Like, I'm having a great morning. It just trickles off to having a great life. So I don't even have like the future planned out. I have things that, of course, like, I wrote down. But I know it's gonna get done, and I trust that it's gonna get done.
There's no past to be hurting from. You're just living in the now.
Yes, and that's why we be having anxiety, because we living in the past, or we worried about the future. But if we stop worrying about the future and understand the future does not exist, the only true moment is now, a lot of release will then begin to just trickle off our shoulders, because we didn't plan this whole pandemic. Like, yes, something was gonna happen. I felt it spiritually. That's why I've been getting obedient. That's why I wasn't shocked when people was like, stay home. I've been staying home. Like, I've been with myself. So I'm like, people was really mad, like, having to be at home and be with themselves. And that shows that we needed this work. Like, we needed, I pray that people really did that internal work, because that's what it was for. It was for, even the churches was shut down. Church ain't never be shut down. It was a reason that we was called to go within, because we were moving towards a whole new paradigm. I felt something was coming, though. That's why I've been getting into alignment for 4 years. So I wasn't shocked. I wasn't scared. I wasn't in fear. I was ready and I was prepared. And that's why everything has been taken off the way it should, because I've been preparing for this moment right now that we're in. Because we have been trained that way. We have been trained to think that we don't have the answers. We have been trained to not even think about ourselves. It's like, yo, like, question yourself. Like, once you know yourself and master yourself, I feel like you can master this life. And you will stop getting into a reactive state of being, and then you'll start being proactive. Everybody can't trigger you. You're not going to react off of people and places and things, and understand that you can control your attitude and the way you look at this life, because you know what you want out of life. If you want happiness, then best believe that's the only goal every single day, is making sure I got a smile on my face. Yes, it's just like a friendly reminder. You don't got to do nothing that you don't want to do. So if you don't want to do anything, like, if you don't want to go to work today, you don't have to go to work. Like, nobody's making you do anything. You are making yourself do something you don't want to do. And once you just release yourself from the permission of be like, whoa, nobody is my ruler, nobody's in control of me, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I don't have to explain myself to a soul. I can do whatever I want to do. You step into your power there. But you shouldn't, especially with sex, if you feel ashamed of doing something, then don't do it. Like, if you can't tell nobody, then don't do it. So I live my life openly. Like, I'm not ashamed of what I do, so I can talk about it and tell people what I do. But if you feel like, oh, keep it on the DL, don't tell nobody, you shouldn't do nothing you don't want nobody to know of, because it sounds like you're ashamed of it. Like, respect the game. Real recognize real. So it's a blessing to be just surrounded by like-minded people, because once you get yourself right, you're going to form like so many beautiful relationships with so many people.